Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Pash On Podcast. Let's get started with your host, Brian Pash.
Hello, this is Brian Pash, and welcome to another podcast. On today's show, I'm going to highlight some of the winners from the 2020 AWA Awards ceremony, which was just held in Las Vegas on February 13th. This is the 12th year that the AWA Awards have been given out. It started many years ago as the Automotive Search Marketing Awards and eventually evolved into the Automotive Website Awards and now to the AWA Awards, which is representing an independent look at the best technology and tools to help dealers sell more cars in a digital age. This year, we had a great number of companies who submitted their applications, which includes a full 2-hour demo of their products, Q&A, and also our independent calls to their customers asking about how they're using the product and which features are most valuable to them. All of this work culminates in a 350-page full-color book, which now is available in PDF format. Dealers and OEMs can download a free copy by going to awa.autos with an S and just complete the form, and we'll send you a link to the AWA Awards Guide for 2020. This book is used by dealers, agencies, and OEMs to understand the best products on the market, changes to products, and, new technology that's changing their thinking about how they should be helping dealers sell cars in a digital age. The categories are, as you might expect, aligned with the type of products that are available to dealers. We have a U.S. websites and EU websites. We have sales process category, social media category, marketing automation, digital retailing, fixed ops, business intelligence. There's a number of categories where products fit in. And then within each of those categories, we recognize new products that are just coming to market or just have a few dealers using them as rising stars. We like to see products have a few hundred dealers using them to qualify for a regular AWA award. And so if a product launches relatively late in the year, if we believe the product has really great momentum, we'll recognize it with a Rising Star Award. Now, the product could be fully baked and ready to go, but maybe their marketing team has been slow rolling it out. So Rising Stars are really those next up-and-comers that we're looking at for innovation within the auto industry. Let's talk about a few of those rising stars. The first company I'd like to talk about in the rising star category is a company called Frickentech, which is an abbreviation for frictionless technology, founded by Alex Schneider, a former Dealer.com executive. What I loved about this product is it seemed to take two problems on which, dealers have been struggling with for quite a while, is how do we provide a better lead response so consumers engage with us? Dealers are chasing ghosts half the time, people who fill out a lead form on the dealer's website, the dealer responds with some template, and, most of the time, the consumer never responds. But it's more than just a lead response tool. It is really a whole new approach to digital retailing. When somebody submits a get e-price lead or unlocks the price on a particular vehicle, Frickentech intercepts that lead from the dealer's CRM and through the dealer's CRM sends an amazing, fully responsive deal sheet, which shows lease, finance, and cash prices with all fees and out-the-door costs. It's amazing how interactive this response is and how quickly consumers can build trust with the dealer. Think of it as digital retailing anywhere. It can be installed on the dealer's website. It can be used in a sales process. I like the fact that the way in which they lay out the deal and shows the consumer in seconds all of the dealer's fees, the taxes based on the current calculations, and then allows the consumer to move the numbers around. Well, I like the way they do it because most DR platforms make the consumer go step by step by step by step. And well, there's a lot of fatigue. We know that dealers are seeing consumers only finish a few minor steps in the digital retailing process. Very few go all the way to the end. So I encourage dealers to take a look at what Alex Schneider and his team has built over at Frickin' Tech. And one of the cool things that they've done is also provided some real-time tools that will show the BDC as consumers are changing numbers in the tool. The BDC can see who's engaging with the email or with the landing page, what they're doing, recording all that so they can either proactively reach out when the consumer is engaging with payments and the technology, or send a more relevant second response depending on what they see is going on. I'm not going to have a chance today to go through all of the award winners. I'm just picking some companies that are worth your inspection because they're bringing products to market that are just, well, quite innovative. The other product I'd like to talk about in the Rising Star category is a product from Wisely. And of course, Wisely is a former Dealer.com executive as well, James Grace. Wisely entered 2 products this year, their Co-op Accelerator and their Dollars and Cents Business Intelligence Tool. Wisely won a Rising Star Award for Dollars and Cents and an Innovator Award for their Co-op Accelerator. You can listen to the previous podcast that I had with James Grace talking about revolutionizing the way in which co-op is handled so that dealers get the full dollars that they're supposed to be getting. But many times they slip through the cracks, those dollars, because, well, the dealer isn't regularly filling out the submission forms, which often can be a pain in the butt. So congratulations to Wisely for winning 2 awards this year. And you can learn about the Wisely company and their product solutions by listening to a podcast that I recorded with James Grace. I also want to recognize innovations in an area that dealers maybe are not aware of, but of course the development community is very aware of, having robust APIs to allow software technology companies to communicate with best-of-breed tools. This year, we recognized Trade Pending as a rising star with their Snap API. A robust application program interface, or API, allows technology companies to integrate the trade pending data more naturally into websites and digital retailing tools. Dealers have been frustrated for years that they have to frame in their finance apps and frame in their trade-in tools. And while they lose all marketing attribution, they really don't look great on mobile devices in some cases. Well, why wouldn't more companies develop an API? Well, they have to have a vision about sharing. They have to have a vision about openness, and they have to have a vision about the customer experience. So we recognized Trade Pending this year in the Rising Star category for their Snap API. You know, there are many companies that are providing amazing products to dealers, but 2 years ago, we created a special award called the Vanguard Award, and that award this year was given to 3 companies. And the Vanguard Award represent companies that are not only innovating, but consistently moving the needle forward, meaning it's not a brand new product that just came out of the blue, but companies who are iterating and developing and increasing the value of their products to dealers. I'd like to take a few moments to talk about the 3 Vanguard Award winners. The first company I'd like to talk about is Dealer Socket. Our review team was extremely impressed with the upgrades that they've made to the CRM and how well their precise price digital retailing tool integrates into the DealerFire websites and, more importantly, integrates with their CRM. Now, precise price does not require a DealerFire website. It can work on any website platform. And their digital retailing platform can use any desking tool. But when you look at the amazing value proposition when a dealer has a DealerFire website, a Dealer Socket CRM, and the Dealer Socket desking tools, well, it really makes sense while many of those dealers are the most satisfied with their digital retailing experience. And here's the reason why. The numbers on the DealerFire website are the exact numbers that would be calculated in the showroom, meaning the DR tool is using the desking engine that the dealer is using in the showroom if they're using Dealer Socket desking. What is happening is dealers are using a desking tool, and then their DR tool is, well, using their own desking methodologies or their own lookups and data providers. And a consumer gets a number on the web, and even a very detailed number, and then comes in and tries to replicate that. And well, in the showroom, the numbers are different, which breaks a lot of the trust that digital retailing is supposed to develop. But more than just integration, our review team felt that Dealer Socket's upgrades to their CRM and their whole story about adding value throughout the chain was outstanding this year. And although I haven't written much about Dealer Socket over the course of my normal articles on LinkedIn, I was really reminded that I got to go back and do a deeper dive into their whole product suite to understand the great things that the company is doing. The second Vanguard Award winner for 2020 is SpinCar. SpinCar has been out for a number of years, and some of you are familiar with their 360-degree spin technology, but the company didn't rest on its laurels. It used the engagement data that consumers do on their spin tool to give dealers some unprecedented insights into consumer intent, and then to use that to, well, provide a smarter engagement process online instead of boring retargeting or dumb retargeting strategies based on how the consumer engaged. The retargeting banners can feature some of the highlighted areas that the consumer was looking at, but more importantly, their new product platform allows that 360 spin technology to be included in the retargeting banner. So a consumer could be engaged on the dealer's VDP using the spin technology and then, well, later retargeted on CNBC or maybe it's SI.com. They're looking at some sports news and there's that retargeting banner with the car that they looked at, and the consumer right there can go back and use that 360 spin technology to look at the car. We need to rethink our VDP designs. We've gotten so far away from making the car the star. For most VDPs, it's a game about price. Unlock this, get price, offer a better price, ask a question. It's typically all about price. And yet, the car isn't the star. And that brings up SpinCar's feature tour. Again, how do we make the car the star? This new product development called Feature Tour allows consumers to really explore all the features that are on the car and, well, educate them along the way. I don't know if you have ever looked at the tabs of specifications that are pre-populated on many cars. I mean, they're really boring to me. They're not organized well. And in fact, some dealers just directly hide them because they take up too much space on a mobile phone. The feature tour rethinks how we merchandise, describe, and explain the value of cars, and this is super important for used cars as well. How many times does a consumer look at a price on a vehicle and think it's higher than the market price, but it's because of the features or options that were installed in that car? You'll hear me in 2020 talk about making the car the star. We need to simplify our VDPs, reduce the number of call to action buttons. We need to serve and engage consumers when they're on the VDP instead of chasing them in the BDC. But we also need to make the car the star. And so better merchandising, better photos, better interactive products that showcase the car makes sense. I don't know about you, but I don't think a consumer wants to swipe through or click through 50 photos. It's just not what we do for any other retail event. And so I think that the technology, both on the dealer's website and the technology to follow the consumer with a virtual VDP shopping experience, is worthy of recognition of the technology team at SpinCar. The last company to receive a Vanguard Award this year is LotLinks. Their Turn 3.0 platform is truly a game changer. Those of you who've been following my writing or podcast know I've been talking about LotLinks for a long time. Their initial product that I wrote about, well, looks like a dinosaur compared to what Turn 3.0 does. And that's why I wanted to include them this year as a Vanguard, because I believe LotLinks has finally figured out how to give new car managers and used car managers, obviously dealer principals, the better tools they need to increase their total profitability of their business by giving dealers another lever other than price to sell a car. You see, most dealers will set a price, let's take a used car for a moment, based on market conditions, and yet 2 weeks later, that price is no good because maybe the car hasn't gotten a lot of inquiries. So the used car manager says, man, I got to move this car within 30 days or 40 days, so they'll mark it down a few $100. And then another week, maybe another few $100. And well, a month later, the price that was supposed to be market competitive is now $1,000 less. And the reason why dealers do this is because they want to keep their turn rate up, but it's also because they believe price is the only way they're going to sell the car. What LotLinks Turn 3.0 has done is take into consideration all of the market data and use that to do smarter advertising, meaning LotLinks will show you the turn rate of all your local competitors on the vehicles that you sell. LotLinks Turn will show you what the day supply of vehicles you have on your lot versus your competitors. Basically will give you intelligence on how your markdowns are comparing to the rest of the market. And more importantly, instead of marking down a car $1,000 over a course of 30 days, what if you could look at it a little differently? What if you could hold the price, spend $300-$400 to market the car more efficiently, and keep the other $600 in your pocket? Some of you are thinking, well, that's impossible. Well, what if it wasn't? What if you could allow the machine learning behavior crunching through all of the local data of your competitors and your inventory, days on lot, market supply, pricing, price decay curves, and market demand? Wouldn't it be interesting if the machine could advertise the cars that need more help with more money and to target the consumers better based on OEM incentives, rebates, or stair-step programs? Meaning, why wouldn't the data find the consumers that are searching for the cars that you sell, and instead of dropping the price, how about targeting each car with a budget that will get it sold with significantly less price reductions. Now, when dealers hear this, they're like, that can't work. No one's doing it. Well, LotLinks is doing it. Meaning, I'm looking to work with some dealer groups that have a large used car inventory that are not turning as fast as they'd like, that they feel that they're discounting too much. I would like to do some case studies with a understanding that price doesn't have to be the only lever to sell cars. Using technology to transform how the marketing is done instead of spray and pray. Now, why is spray and pray still happening? Well, let me tell you. Most pay-per-click vendors in the automotive space will load up all of the cars that a dealer has in inventory and treat them all equally and build campaigns for all the cars every day and advertise all of the cars pretty much the same. Other than budgets for new and used, the individual cars are treated like each other, had the same value, the same aging curve, the same market demand. But we know that that's not the case. So I'm super excited to see what I'm going to be able to do this year with the LotLinks Turn 3.0. Again, I'm looking for some dealer groups that have a lot of inventory on the ground and not happy with their turn rates. I'd like to document it and then eventually share that at the upcoming Automotive Analytics and Attribution Summit in November 2020 in Palm Beach. So if you are, say, Brian, we got 3, 4, 5, 6, 1,000 cars sitting on a lot. They're used cars. I need to turn these things smarter, better. I need to fight price erosion. Definitely reach out and let's have some fun this year putting together a smarter way to advertise. I wish I had time to go over all of the AWA award winners, but that show would be 3 or 4 hours. But the good news this year is that each individual write-up will be on its own page on brianpash.com. You'll be able to order the full book in digital format for free if you're a dealer or an OEM by going to brianpash.com or awa.autos. But this year, we're taking each individual review and pushing them up on brianpash.com. Why is that? Because we want these great companies to get the visibility, interaction, and basically search visibility as well as dealers are out looking for great products. So what are you waiting for? Get over to brianpash.com. Take a look at all the individual write-ups. You'll notice that they're very detailed, in full color, or you can just download the book and take some time on your iPad and start reading about these great companies that we've recognized this year. I want to thank you for listening to today's podcast. And you should know that every Monday I release a new podcast to help our industry grow. If you would like to be featured on a podcast, make sure you reach out to me, Brian at brianpash.com. I'm always looking for new ideas and new speakers that fit our criteria for the Pash On podcast. I also want to give you 2 other reminders. On March 18th, I'm hosting the Automotive Marketing Bootcamp for Fixed Ops in Fort Lauderdale. You can go to brianpash.com, look under events, get your Fixed Ops Director and Marketing Manager signed up. You're going to see my breakthrough in local search for fixed ops and also paid advertising strategies rethought for both Google and Facebook. This is a one-day event that you don't want to miss, especially if you feel that your fixed ops advertising strategy is a little long in the tooth and using outdated thinking. I also want to remind you that the 11th Annual Digital Marketing Strategies Conference in the Napa Valley will be held May 17th, 18th, and 19th. On the 16th, I'm doing a full-day class on Google My Business Optimization. This is a conference that is limited. It is only available to dealers and sponsors. So this is the who's who of the dealer community, the dealer group community. We have leaders in the OEM community everyone's there to get a glimpse of the latest strategies, the latest tech to help them really advance and create a competitive edge. So if you'd like to register, I encourage you to do that quickly. Go to digitalmarketingstrategies.org to register your team. And if you get the premium ticket, you can then attend my full day class on May 16th on Google My Business Optimization. Thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to spending time with you again on a future podcast.